Hi, it's Alexis.
And Christian from Tiny House Expedition. And we built our tiny house way back in 2014.
With the help of friends and family, over 9 months of ups and downs and trial and error, it was all worth it in the end.
We built a cozy custom home of our own that led us to an adventure of a lifetime. And now we're working on a shuttle bus conversion.
In our DIY Tiny Home Build Stories series, we hope to inspire and empower you to take on your own build by yourself or with help.
I needed help. I definitely needed help.
Hey, my name's Sonja.
And my name's Tim, and we're living in our tiny house here in northern Colorado.
Building like the structure of something was new to me. Like I've only built a van which already had the frame, so like learning how to do that was really challenging, and then also figuring out how to balance functionality and then also aesthetics and making it really beautiful but also work.
Yeah. Another issue that we ran into was just being okay with making mistakes.
Yeah.
Because we had such a tight time frame, whenever you made a mistake, it was very easy to let the anxiety of, we're not going to finish it come in. But, you make a mistake, you learn how to do it better next time, so the next 10 that you do are going to be much better and much faster. So.
As far as like the timing part of the plan, spreadsheets. I'm a big spreadsheeter. We broke it down after we got our frame built and stuff. We broke it down for the rest of the way, like how much time we had for everything, how much time we thought it would take, and then if we did something faster, great. If we did something slower, everything else had to shift and adapt, and just really trying your best to make a plan that seems achievable, and then doing your research, figuring out how long everything takes other people, and then maybe giving yourself an extra day if you haven't done it before.
Yeah, definitely the pre-planning is also very important, because that's good to get it done on time, but then to make sure that you have a cohesive enough plan when you come into it.
Yeah.
Which, we did for most things. Some things we didn't fully plan out, but it did work out, so. I don't know if anybody else has this, but I will just get on Craigslist and look, see what's there. I'll either look for cars, or if I have a more specific purpose, such as looking for stuff for the tiny house, I'll just scroll through the free, see if there's anything good. Every 1,000 posts, there's something worthwhile. So you can find something every now and again. And then we would go to the Habitat for Humanity in Denver.
Yeah. The Restore. Very, very cool place. That's where almost all our windows came from, basically new, because they were from like bigger builds that they didn't have.
Yeah, they had one spare, or maybe the frame was like
a little dented.
Had a ding in it.
So
yeah.
That's a pretty cool place to find stuff, especially if you're building from the ground up. They have a lot of really cool stuff there. We did not want a loft.
Yeah, we didn't want a loft. Yeah, specifically, I didn't want 2 feet of headroom in the bedroom. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm about 6'1", so I like to stand up. I like to not hit my head when I stand up, so I wanted to be able to stand up in the bedroom.
And we thought the gooseneck would be a good use of space to do that, because it makes it easier to tow the house, makes the bed of the trailer a little shorter, which is nice, and then also for this house especially, it created a nice division of space. Like we actually have a bedroom that feels really separate from the rest of our house, which is really nice as well.
At this point in the build, we were running out of time, so we had wanted to do a full, complete custom closet of our own making, but we realized that since we wanted these drawers, we could just buy a set of kitchen drawers or kitchen cabinets from Home Depot and just fit them in there and then build the rest of our closet on top. So that ended up saving at least 3 days of work, because designing and building custom cabinetry is not something that either of us have experience with. And that's so nice that we got to make it this tall, so it's not a complete wall that walls off the whole room. However, we can kind of utilize some plants and books to make it a separate space from the bedroom.
I guess one thing that is really cool about our house is that we got to have so many friends come and help, and just like that was really beautiful. And it's nice to have a space that, yes, we built and we did. This is 100% ourselves and our effort, but it's also from our friends that took weeks or weekends out of their lives to come and put our ceiling on or help us put our walls up or paint something. This is really beautiful. My friend Jessie made this for us out of reclaimed floor that they ripped out of a house in Portland, and they brought this for us and they stained it, and it's really beautiful. I definitely had one of my biggest meltdowns of building the house, doing the penny floor in the bathroom, just like puzzle piecing them together and then it not lining up perfectly and then having to just scrape them all off and do it again was upsetting.
Yeah, and there were just little small finishing details that, like, you know, we thought would come together. They didn't quite come together how we thought they would, and we had to spend a little extra time on making them look how we wanted them to. But it definitely made us appreciate how when you walk into a professionally built home and things are all finished, it took someone a lot of time and skill to do that.
I think that it was really beautiful to see something that we designed on a whiteboard, like without having the money for it or the budget for it or the tools for it, like, happen, and, you know, getting to live in that before we're even done with school yet and just getting to own this home.
One of the most rewarding bits in building this house and having it done is being able to come home and I get to look at how much energy we got from the sun every day, which is really fun, and it gets to last all night, and it's just cool because I got to design and we got to build it, and yeah, so we just have a self-powered home. So in designing the solar array for this house, for tiny houses in general, you have to work under a really small size constraint. So even if you electrically need about maybe like a 5 kilowatt system, you know, you can only fit as much as you can on your roof, or you have to do some sort of external ground mount or pole mount. So calculating how much you need versus how much you can get, it's certainly a balancing act to make sure that you have power every day. And so for our system, we have about 2.7 kilowatts on the roof, 300 or 315 watt panels. In the summer and fall and spring months, that covers us all day, no worries. And we can go a couple days without sun as well. But now as we're getting into the winter months and we're not exactly oriented in the correct fashion, just because of how the parking space sits, we have had to plug in and charge up the batteries, I think 2 or 3 times now.
And I guess with that, like, part of our system is that we have a huge battery bank, right? So that we don't just have the panels themselves, we have a place to store all of that energy, which is also really important if you want the capability to be off-grid. And then we also have a pretty large in-house water tank, which is really nice in Colorado where it freezes, because a lot of places you can get away with one outside of your house, but we had to figure out how we could build one inside of our house as well, which is cool. We just actually got that hooked up.
So we have 9 solar panels up there. They're each rated about over 300 watts each, so we have 2.7 kilowatts of solar combined. They're running 3 strings of 3, so they all get combined near the end there, pop over the edge, and into the shed for the charge controller. When we started designing the house, we quickly realized that we would have to have some sort of a space to fit the batteries, all the utilities, our camping gear, our rafting gear, our water tank, everything like that. So we figured we'd utilize the dovetail that came with the trailer because it slants down, so it'd be kind of weird to build a platform there. So we just built it slanted and then fit all of our utilities and hanging storage in here. So we have a total of 56 Generation 1 Nissan Leaf battery modules. They're all wired up, so we have a 48 volt nominal system that's fed by this main charge controller, and then this inverter actually has a battery charger and changeover switch in it. We've had to charge up 2 or 3 times now that the sun's getting lower in the sky. All we have to do is plug into 240. This will charge the battery and supply all the loads inside the house as well.
I think planning would be the biggest advice I would give someone, and taking time to collect materials if sustainability and also budget is something important to you when you're thinking about doing a tiny house. Like really focusing on finding free or cheap things and collecting them and letting that be a part of your design process rather than trying to find things to fit something that's already in your mind, I guess.
Yeah, really just ability to adapt, because especially if you've not built a house before like we hadn't, you're gonna make plenty of mistakes. So just be okay with that and be willing to work with that.
Hey, it's Alexis again.
And Christian from Tiny House Expedition. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And to watch the full tour of the DIY tiny home you just learned about, click over here.